Okay, I guess we're back.
For the third time of the day, Joshua, Vincent, everybody!
From downtown!
Calm the fuck down, Josh. Jesus Christ.
Oh, wait, just sit down now. I'm ready.
Alright, we're doing
Like Milton from Office Space.
We're doing a really quick bonus section of our episode, and Josh just recently wanted to talk about Covenant and Prometheus.
You won't believe it, I watched movies.
Actually, you know what? Funny enough, I don't believe it.
I did watch them, and my opinions quite
Wait, was this the
surprising.
first time you've watched them?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it was.
Because I was like, those look like shit, and I only watched Alien. I haven't even seen Aliens, although I feel like,
me neither.
although I
You
feel
both
like I
need to
would
see
enjoy
Aliens.
Aliens.
Yeah.
But to me, I was like, Alien 1, Aliens, and I just skipped the rest. Because
Good.
I feel like the point of Alien, the first one, is the mystery of the
Mhm.
xenomorphs, and that doesn't need to be explained. That said, jumping into Prometheus, also, this is going to be a weird cut, because we didn't end that last one, so it's like, alright, Hellraiser, let's pause. And it's like, okay, so Prometheus and Alien.
Whatever. Who
But
cares?
Can we just like have
Prometheus-
this as like a random bonus?
Yeah, I could.
Yeah, it's kind of a bonus,
I
yeah.
could do the episode of Hellraiser, and then this would be like just like a 30-minute. Or
We'll just
What?
figure,
do we just want to
something.
talk about aliens?
You could.
No, I'm not prepared to talk about it.
I want to watch. I definitely
Okay,
want to
fine,
watch.
fine,
it.
fine.
Oh, have you not seen Prometheus and
I have
Alien?
seen Prometheus.
Okay, thank God.
Prometheus.
I'm going to spoil everything.
No, please
I've
do. It's
seen
fine.
Have you seen
all of the
Alien?
Alien movies.
Okay.
Wow,
Blake,
incredible.
have you seen every single Alien movie? Have you played Alien Colonial Marines?
Have you played Alien vs Predator?
I did, actually. But, Prometheus. Okay, so Prometheus was a little odd. So,
Sorry, on a side note, I have
Yeah.
a lot of trivia to tell you about that movie after you
Okay.
tell me some stuff.
Oh.
well, so to start, I actually, to kind of gloss over it and then I'll go into more specifics, I actually liked it.
Yeah!
Yeah! But
Like the movie!
I think the parts where it fails is where it tries to reconnect this plotline with Alien.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's
And-
like fucked up. Just like the
Yeah,
Alien prequel.
because it's
just
like-
Alien
I
prequel.
thought it was actually good on its own.
If
Yeah.
it didn't connect to Alien, I would have been like, this would have been awesome. It would have been like a cool modern sci-fi.
Yeah.
So I don't like shit's on the floor.
Takes a squad big dump.
wedgie with my nutsack,
and I don't wanna fix it. Same thing.
Face. I don't like in the movie that they're like, oh yeah, the engineers, the space jockeys. I'm like, okay, well then why is he like not even that big?
And why is he not in the chair at the end?
Yeah, because he's fucking huge. Oh, because I think that's what Romulus is gonna do, and I have no faith for that.
Oh, that's right.
movie.
Alien Romulus is still
Because
coming
that's
out.
being
Oh,
directed
yeah.
by the guy who did Texas Chainsaw Remake in 2022.
I can't believe they decided to choose this motherfucker to direct this and not fucking
Neil Blomkamp.
Yeah.
when he had
And
his...
he would have been perfect.
and he was gonna do a sequel to Aliens.
Yes.
Where
Crazy.
fucking Hicks was alive!
Look, Hicks is alive.
Instead of
I-
fucking killing him off between movies!
I have no faith for Romulus, but for Prometheus. So I thought it was very interesting. I think the concept is somewhat interesting.
Yeah.
The special effects were odd, so I have two thoughts for both movies.
Your face is odd.
The way that Prometheus was shot was it was weird. It was very like it didn't really give me the same vibes as like uniqueness as the original Alien movie. But I thought it looked pretty good, and the CG was, I thought the CG was all right, but there were certain parts.
When did it come out? 2014?
I think it was 2016.
Oh, 2016?
or 2016.
Somewhere
I can't
around there?
remember.
Yeah,
And then
mid
it's
2010s.
2015. It's like, damn it!
Yeah.
2010.
Would
But,
you
I don't know.
2001?
Special effects, I think, for that time were
They're pretty good.
passable and acceptable.
The thing that I noticed was the special effects. Some of them were a little like,
Okay.
Specifically, here, let me pull up a little
I mean, the
photo
dude
for
definitely
reference.
looked a bit CG'd.
Which one?
The
Michael Fassbender.
Yeah.
Even
the
though
guy-
it was real Michael Fassbender.
The
they just
old
CGI'd
guy?
him.
I
It's all
could
Steve
not
Buscemi.
take the old guy seriously because I have
Oh,
got,
Guy Pearce.
I've got a picture and I don't know.
Man, they did you dirty,
Dude,
Guy
fucking
Pearce.
He
Goddamn
looks like-
Peter Whalen.
Damn it. Where's my download folder?
Dude, Josh has
There it is.
illegally downloaded the entire movie!
Okay, this motherfucker.
typical.
Oh, hey, what's up? I'm an old guy. 100%. He looks exactly
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Dr.
yeah.
Evil.
That's
Like,
a little-
I couldn't not
That's a
see
little
it. I'm
wacky.
like, he's wearing
Dr.
his
Evil.
little coat, and his whole plot line I felt was goofy, and I don't know, it's just kind of odd. I thought the
Oh,
Jesus
God.
Christ. Blake just shit his pants.
The acting and the writing seemed a little odd for some characters, like especially the husband or whatever. Said
What
a
about
lot of
that
weird-
one part towards the end
Oh,
where
where
they're
the
fucking
Marshall
running away from the goddamn ship comically
Yeah!
running towards them? And
Oh!
they're not, they could run to the side,
What are
but
the-
they don't.
What are the odds that that ship gets exploded out of the sky, lands there, because it was already pretty high up there, and then they're both like, uh-oh, run! And it starts rolling across this valley,
God hates
and
that.
they're like running away from it, and then it runs over one of the people, and then she like finally was like, wait a minute, I'm gonna go this way, and she starts going that way, and then it like, and it starts to fall, and she's like, starts running forward again. Like, that scene was so
it's
great.
very not good.
Those two movies, one of my big complaints, those were some of the stupidest characters I've ever seen in a movie. They're so dumb. In both movies, comically, when they get infected, they're like vomiting blood and like seeing like worms and shit, and they're like, "Are you okay?"
and she
like,
hugs him.
and he's like, "I've never been better." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And like 10 minutes later, he's like, "Ah!" Like, okay. So
Is this supposed to be comical or something?
no,
Like-
so it actually,
Come on,
going into it, I felt like with very low expectations, but also wanting to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that there was some really cool, and I kind of forced myself to look more into it. And I thought that there were some really cool
a
concepts
helicopter going
on.
overhead.
It's a UFO, Jesus.
Oh shit, dude! Those
Is it
fucking
actually a
Mexican
helicopter?
aliens are coming down.
I don't know what that is. That was
The-
a thing with like 5 lights on
the
it.
aliens that they found in Mexico.
Oh,
that are
yeah!
completely fake.
Check out this alien. It's like,
Yeah. It's like dried up.
It literally
It-
has an ET head.
It looks like the one from Men in Black where the face opens
Yeah.
up
Oh,
and he's like, yeah. Controlling a man. Yeah.
But Prometheus. So the whole like, yeah, all this stuff happens like bioweapon or whatever. I can't remember a lot of the beginning. There was a lot of really stupid like when the one lady was like, "I am CEO lady," and then the guy's like, "Are you a robot? Why don't you have sex with me?" And she's like, "Why don't we have sex?" And I'm like,
And
"Why
he's
is this here?"
Like, oh hell yeah!
But then, and so.
And then
Not that they
swore.
need to. They don't show any of the scene. Like, there's no sex scene there. So,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
why is any of this
What the
included?
fuck?
You could have skipped all of this. This is stupid dialogue. This is gonna be one of those weird movies where I rip on it a little bit, but I actually did enjoy it.
Rip it.
The whole part where the husband gets infected.
Yep.
And he's like, "What's in my eye?" And the little worm's like, "Ooh!" And he's like, "Oh! What the fuck was that? There's something wrong with me." And the wife is like, "Is there something wrong?" He's like, "I'm totally fine. I've never felt better
I
than
literally
this."
am the peak of man.
Yeah.
He just freaking
Oh.
goes out and runs a mile.
And then, like, another example is the two people that are
Becomes the
stuck
Flash.
in the, like, dome thing.
Oh yeah,
Also-
Stoner McGee.
I thought that was a
dipshit
cool
McGee.
concept. I
Yeah.
like them being separated and being on, like, mics and being like, "This is scary."
I don't like how the captain couldn't give 2 less shits.
Yeah.
Cause like, oh my god, we're getting up. He's like, turn on.
Yeah,
I don't
sure
know.
sounds like it.
He's like, we're cold. He's like, ah, fuck you. He's like, just step down the cobs. He's like, ah,
They
whatever.
were all just really stupid.
No, they
and-
were. Like, unfortunately, I have to agree that almost all the characters in Prometheus are written really bad. Like, the running thing, the captain's a fucking lazy idiot who does
Yeah.
nothing. These 2 schmuckbergs get alone, and then they're like, oh my god, we're all alone, we can't see anything. He's like, alright, and just hangs up on him. I'm like, do you not care? And then they die. He's like, oh,
Well, and
wasn't
then
my bad.
their deaths
Yeah.
were like super weird, and they didn't really make sense canonically with Alien. And I understand there's probably some
But I
stuff
liked
with
it.
that.
I
I
thought
was
it was
kind of
cool.
mixed. Like that one. The thing is too is like the little mini like face hugger thing like
Yeah.
goes into him
Mhm.
and then it leaves. Did it impregnate him? Because he doesn't turn into like a chest burster. And the weirder thing is too is later on. This is spoiler. Everyone's already seen him. You find out that the whatever David
David,
is trying to create like the perfect xenomorph. And like, but these ones are all way more efficient than the one in the first movie. Like, where'd you fuck up? Like
that one died. These ones haven't.
Well, and these ones like they should come out of the chest like, "I'm ready to go, motherfucker." Like they're already little xenomorphs. They don't come
Yeah,
out.
oh,
in
I thought
the
that was
Marvel
weird.
state.
Covenant.
Yeah, in
Yeah,
Covenant.
and then he goes like, and the little xenomorph like,
Dabs,
Dabs,
Yeah,
yeah.
what was that scene?
I thought it was weird as shit because I was like, that's not how they come out. They come out like little worms.
Yeah, but then they also they just seem way more efficient in this movie as like killing machines because they infect, and then those little bastards come out in like 10 minutes or less. Like they're like, oh, I don't feel well, like vomiting up aliens, and then they like run away and they're
It's
ready
like they
to
were
go.
just trying to like rush it.
Yeah, what was? I don't understand. What
It was
the
very
point.
rushed because, like, in the whole premise of Alien, the original fucking story is that it takes a while.
Yeah, it takes a long time.
And then when it
Yeah.
comes out, it's a worm that has the molt. But then in that one, it literally comes out as like a little man.
It-
a
yeah,
little
it's
man
like a
comes
little
out.
tiny-
And it's like,
Yeah, it's like
little
shaking.
Mr. Peanut.
And then David's like, put your hands
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
air,
do the
little guy.
hand thing.
And he does the hand thing, and I just laughed. Like, because I was excited. I was like, finally, a chest burster. And he's like, no, motherfucker. It's tiny xenomorph time. And then he becomes like an adult xenomorph in like minutes.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, in the original movie, it's very quick, too.
They well, yeah, but they had to like really rush Covenant because I feel like they built so much time with proto-xenomorphs,
Yeah.
then building to the ultimate xenomorph, and then they had the whole part where David tries to rape someone,
Oh, yeah.
and I was like, no, how about we don't do this randomly? And then they had to have Android Smackdown, and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
sick, Michael Fassbender versus Michael Fassbender. And then they had to have just other dumb people doing dumb shit. Well, I was like, how the fuck did everybody just
To
die?
kind of conclude Prometheus.
No.
So I thought it was interesting. I thought the old guy getting like killed was goofy, and he looked so bad. His like special effects looked awful.
We were just like, okay, who are we gonna hire to do makeup?
Hey, Guy Pearce, can you just like squint really hard
Well,
so you get a bunch of
that's-
frowns and you
I
just
don't-
look old?
I don't necessarily think that might have been like the fault necessarily of the artist. I don't know if it was a budget issue.
It was all of their
But-
costs.
It was really odd. And then they died, and then I still don't really understand the engineers. Like, oh god, oh I'm awake, and humans are like, why am I a thing? And he's like, what?
It's like, just stop fucking shouting at me!
Yeah, and then
I just woke up, damn
And
it!
then David, oh my god, I laughed so hard because I like how conically the androids' heads always come off the same way. You know, and it like, just has the like skin still attached on the chest. But yeah, and he's like, what? He's like, why are we a thing? Huh? And then he starts like speaking their language or whatever, and he's like, ah, and like just starts kicking everyone's ass.
He
and
freaking
he's
gets
like,
pissed off.
and he's like, I have to kill all the humans! And he's like trying to like take the ship to kill the humans. And I don't know, it was just like, but then, so then does that mean that he knows that it causes the human, I guess he does know that because there's a lot of weird things I read about like, it's like an artist or whatever. I don't, like, doesn't like his original creation, wants to like make new creation.
Well, so
Go ahead, because none of it's really in the movie.
yeah, but I think now everyone, you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but
I'm ready.
But if I am correct, that the canonical reasoning for why the engineers are trying to fucking bomb us with black goo is because we killed Jesus.
No, there's no way.
No, hold on, because Jesus was an engineer.
No, there's no,
No,
way.
no,
he
stop,
wasn't.
no.
Stop,
He
stop.
was fucking jacked though.
Hold
in
on,
the
yeah,
final
think
Judgment.
about it.
Yeah,
Put a
he
wig
was
on
huge.
engineer. You got
Yeah, I
no,
remember back
no,
with
'cause see,
the
here's
painting the Last Supper with some giant fucking
No, 'cause
engineer
here's
sitting
the
in the
thing,
middle. Yeah, I remember that.
is in the story the engineers were originally coming to Earth at a certain time period, and if you look at that time period, the reason the engineers were coming to kill us is because the last time an engineer came to visit Earth, we crucified him.
Who told you that?
The internet. So that's why I'm saying it might not be real.
Yeah.
However, here's the thing: the engineer in the beginning of the movie is the origin of the human
Yeah.
race because he kills himself and thus starts the evolution.
Yeah, he,
so
like,
then
goops
another.
in the water.
So that's
It
why
tears
the
apart
engineers
his
were coming
DNA.
to like kill us because
Yeah.
we killed them, and that's why because everyone's like, "What did David say to him? What did David say to him?" All David said was, "This man has come for help, or he's coming here. He wants you to help him." And the engineer's like, "Fuck humans."
I thought that it was basically the one that killed himself in there was like doing something that the engineers didn't want him to do.
no,
he was
no,
all by himself.
no. He created the human race.
Yeah, but the other engineers probably didn't want him to do that.
No, they did. That was the whole thing.
Who told you that?
The
Jesus!
movie!
Wait.
Because the other engineers are there
Yeah,
with
there's
him.
an engineer like.
Because that's what they
in
do.
the-
They're all about bioengineering. They're all about like
Yeah.
starting life and creating life and experimenting with life.
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
I will go fuck myself because I hate the fact that I know so much shit. Because then also you have the whole thing about like David's also like a religious name. There's a lot of religious aspect because also the ship like in Aliens or Alien is literally apart from the Bible. Like there's a lot of religious
Yeah, an
shit.
alien is
But
Nostromo.
The thing
I
to
don't know if that's
remember
in the Bible.
too.
No,
Ridley Scott did write
no,
Alien.
not the ship, the planet. The planet is
Aliens?
like LX-18 or something.
Or
or something.
Oh, I didn't
It's
know.
something from the
Shit
Bible.
of Aliens, but he also
Oh.
did
You know
not
what
write
other
any of Alien.
This franchise
Okay.
has
He just
a Bible
directed
ship in it.
Gotcha.
It's The Matrix with the Nebuchadnezzar. What?
No,
It's the Nebuchadnezzar.
yeah.
Wait, well, so to kind of touch
Anyway,
on
we're
that,
talking about little aliens in Covenant too.
I hope that's
Little
not
aliens.
the case,
Yeah. I
because
mean, literally.
again, if
Little
Alien
guys.
wasn't in there, they could pull that off.
Yeah.
But that's fucking stupid.
Well, so then there's a lot of shit.
You would think
Oh.
if Jesus was an engineer, they'd be like, "This guy's an asshole. He says he's the king of the Jews." And they look at him. He's like 10 feet tall, completely
Super
bald,
jacked.
white, and jacked beyond belief.
He's like the whole.
and they're like, "Let's crucify this guy!"
Let's
like,
fucking get him!
And
I'm
then
like,
in all
what?
the pictures, he would be like, like Jesus is just huge and like
Yeah.
All
bald.
smashing people to death. Like, Jesus smash,
You know
Jesus
what-
smash.
You know what I found out today too? I was reading. For some reason, I looked this up because everyone was like, "They killed Jesus." I was like, "How old was Jesus? Like, oh
20?
no, they killed him young. No, he was like 33 or something.
Well, yeah, but wait, no, yeah, because back then everyone died at like 42.
that was the lifespan.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he was like,
It's my time anyway.
I was dying tomorrow.
Yeah,
And I
But,
made this horrible joke about them like Weekend at Bernie's. He like
Jesus.
died.
Right.
And you
Yeah.
think me talking about fucking Chester Bennington killing himself is worse than this?
2,000 years
Well-
ago.
real.
I didn't even know.
Whoa!
What are you talking about?
No,
Oh.
we're getting into weird places.
You gotta bleep that! That's probably the most offensive thing anybody's ever said in this podcast so far.
Anyways,
I love Jesus.
you
You
look
kind
like
of, I was gonna
him.
say, you're
Yeah,
the best
I know you
example
got
of
12
Jesus.
packs.
I'm a what's it like historically accurate Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm a little
But,
Yeah, a little brown,
I-
got the
I-
beard
I
and
do-
the hair.
I do agree, though. I wish that the characters in Prometheus and Covenant were better because the ones that drove me insane were, especially in Covenant, when the guy gets like gassed in the face
Yeah.
from an alien planet. He's
So
like,
stupid.
He's like, okay. He walks away, and I was
He's
like,
taking a big
"Don't
whiff of
fucking
it,
take
yeah.
man."
They both do that. though.
Yeah, they both like,
get, like
that's pretty good. Yeah.
And then they're like
Eating the
they're like
goop.
coughing up their blood and
Yeah.
like,
Whoa! I was hungry.
Yeah, and so then that dude is like freaking out, and he's got spikes coming out his back, and
Yeah.
she goes to hug him,
Yeah.
and I was like, because then everyone freaks out about containment, because she's like, I'm not letting out of the room because of containment. I'm like, burn him, kill him now.
Get rid of
I was
him?
Like, I was
Yeah.
like, if containment's an issue, why would you even touch him in any way? Because you're like, it's like there was, and then she like fires a shotgun and blows up the entire ship, and I'm just like,
yeah.
okay. But there was another rumor, and I was really, and I'm gonna sound crazy, but I really wanted this to be a thing. The original rumor of Covenant, the reason David has a body is because originally David was somehow gonna put his body onto the body of the woman from the first one. He was gonna like take her head off and shove his head on, and then like run around with like a human body.
Like face off.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I really
Head
wish
off.
he did that because I was like, that's pretty wild.
That would've been cool.
What's your fucking name?
But, like,
Elizabeth?
Yeah, Elizabeth Shaw. But I also agree that her husband in Prometheus is stupid because he literally is on a planet where he's like, "That shit's fine." Just takes off his helmet. I was like, "I wish his head exploded."
No, but they keep going to these other
No, his head
planets
just
and being
freezes like Arnold.
Yeah, that's the
from
first thing
the
I
Masked
thought.
Club.
But they keep going to these planets and being like,
Well, wait, time out. He's talking about Magic School Bus. I think you're talking about Total Recall.
no,
You're talking about Magic School Bus?
no, I'm talking about Prometheus.
No, I mean
No,
when he takes
when
off his
he-
helmet.
No, I'm talking about Magic School.
Oh, okay, awesome, great.
Yeah, when he's like, I want to die, and he like,
Because of his cousin?
like
Yeah.
freezes.
But yeah, they always take off their helmets. They always do something.
What I mean by that though is they're like, there's air on this planet,
Yeah.
and they take their helmet off, and I'm like smallpox and shit. Like what? You're gonna go to an
Airborne
alien
diseases,
planet,
yeah.
everything, and they in Covenant it was even worse because all of them had their helmets off.
Yeah, I really don't like the whole because one, I got a lot of flack for this, but I love the suits in Prometheus. I love the big
Yeah,
helmets.
they're all right.
I thought they looked cool. And then I was
Cool
like,
design.
why are they running around with no helmets on? Or like, why are they running around like this is an alien? Like, treat your alien planets like alien
Exposing themselves to shit.
planets. Yeah, and then in Alien Covenant, they're just like, oh, this is our new Earth. And like, I was talking to someone, and they were like giving me beef because I was like, oh no, man, that guy died, and his husband's all sad. And like, what do you mean his husband? I was like, the other guy's his husband.
Oh,
Like,
that's what my friend thought too.
it is. That's his husband.
It's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. They're not like, I love you, little honeybee.
No. But it's also weird because for some reason Ridley Scott, no, sorry, not Ridley Scott, Ridley Scott's son did like little short film alien stuff because he did one for Alien Prometheus where it was young Peter Whalen being like, fucking let's go get aliens!
I actually kind of
And-
like that.
Yeah, and then in the second one he did the day before they all went to cryo freeze, and it's the only scene of James Franco where he's like talking. Because he's like, oh, I feel pretty sick, I'm gonna go lie down and sleep. And then, he's like, and then the next time you see him he's like, he's on fire. But
Yeah, that movie started off crazy.
But then the other thing that's like weird is like the military people in these movies are just complete fucking idiots.
Yeah.
Like literally they're inhaling gas from planets, they're running around just
What
not
does it smell like to you?
they're like getting butt
Yeah.
naked,
Oh,
and they're like taking showers and letting aliens pop their heads off, and I'm just like, what the
Oh.
hell? And then yeah, little David with his little alien buddy's like, ah.
Well, they didn't know that there was like the little alien, the little albino one running around. Oh wait, no, they did.
They did.
Yeah, there were two of them.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm gonna get naked and take a shower. I'm like, what?
Well, she didn't get naked. It killed her before then. But the thing
I
that
thought
was
she was
weird.
I thought she was getting
No,
naked.
she wasn't. Well, I mean, she was
I
gonna
watched a
take a
different
shower.
movie.
Like, you're thinking about naked
But-
people.
Oh shit.
That they also
The-
showed the same shot of her
the
like
porno
hand
version
floating
of
through
Alien
time.
Covenant.
Oh, did
yeah,
they
it's
really?
Yeah,
That's funny.
They keep cutting to it.
Alien Covenant.
Good one.
Good one, Patrick.
Thank
But
you.
in that, the thing that pissed me off about that is like they're doing everything so stupid. In that scenario, you would 100% take an accountability.
Yep.
Like, there's no way that you'd be like,
Why do people keep separating?
yeah,
Because then there's the part where the sergeant, like the head military guy, played by Damien Brasher or whatever, he is the one who gets impregnated,
oh yeah,
and then he's the one
he's
who's
stupid as hell.
he's stupid as hell.
And that
And
was
he
the captain of the ship, though. You know, not necessarily just the military. He was the
he was,
captain.
wait, he was the captain of the ship.
Yes.
No, he
Yeah.
wasn't.
Yeah, he was. Because
James
when
Franco was.
James Franco exploded into flames, and after he exploded into flames,
Then I thought the
no,
other.
it was the captain. He was the captain because that was the whole thing at the beginning of the movie. Is he was like, "I gotta lead this ship, motherfuckers."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
he's
James
the
Franco
captain.
can't say that because he's dead.
Yeah, he's Christian.
Damien Brasher was supposed to be the one in charge.
Yes,
Wait, then why was Billy Crudup acting like he was in
he
charge?
was the pilot. Wait, no. Maybe we're talking about different people.
I'm
I
talking
thought
about
that-
a white guy. I'm
wasn't-
talking about a Hispanic guy.
Wasn't Danny McBride the pilot?
Yeah,
Danny
Danny
McBride was the pilot. I don't know the other one you're
Billy
talking about.
Billy Crudup is the one that had the thing come out. I was like, yeah!
That guy was the pilot.
What?
Sorry.
No, you
I
fuck.
mean, he was the captain.
He's the
That
captain.
yeah, Damon Brasher is the fucking guy who was like the military man. He's the one with the husband. He's the one who ran and pushed over the other military guy. Who's like, ah!
But
And then
only one alien comes out of a chest, though.
yeah, and that's
Yeah.
Billy Crudup. No, because at the end, motherfucker, they get on the ship, and then fucking alien comes out of the goddamn captain sergeant man.
You literally sound like Charlie from Always Sunny right now.
It's a different alien. It's a different alien that comes out on the chest on the ship. Well, not on the ship.
Are you talking about Prometheus or Alien Covenant?
Covenant.
What? Oh yeah, I guess it is.
There's
Because
Oh.
the other one got burned. Or
Yes.
he got dead.
yeah, and then there's the other one that because it's this whole thing of like the military sergeant, the one with the husband, the Hispanic character. He is like infected, impregnated, and they put him in cryosleep or something, and then he
Right.
comes out or
Right,
something.
right. I remember that.
And that's
now.
like a whole thing.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
This motherfucker. I'm over here breaking my voice. I'm sounding like Charlie Day, and I hate
There was
sounding-
too much shit going on, and the aliens kept
There
popping
is.
out of
And
everybody.
also, on your behalf, the characters are completely have no character.
Like the part
this is
was
like,
like-
nothing.
They're
The-
basic, bland.
They're like
the
nothing.
part where he
Yeah.
shoots the albino one, and he's like, "No, my baby!" And he's like, "Tell me what's going on here, or I'll kill you." And he's like, "Okay." And he like goes down to his little basement. He's like, "See this egg?" He's like, "Yeah, that's a cool egg." He's like, "Take a look in there. Looks like a vagina." And he's like, "Get closer."
He's like,
Oh, and he like gets in there. And,
Oh,
like,
Covenant.
jumps on him.
That's what I was
And
talking
then,
about.
and then he
man.
wakes up and he's like, "Yo!" And then like the little thing comes out.
and it's like, ah!
Yeah, and I'm like,
then
what?
David's like, ah!
Why would he do any of this? Like, that scene is so frustrating because he's
It's
literally like,
incredibly stupid.
what do you think this is, asshole? And he's like, that looks like an egg. Absolutely right. You did it. Come take a look at this. He's
And
like,
he puts his fucking head in it.
does he say, is it dangerous?
I think so. I think he says, "Are you Assassin's Creed?" And he goes, "Are you Naked Blue Man?" And he goes, "Yeah." And then his dick came out, and then he got pregnated.
Oh,
and then,
I missed that part.
Yeah, and then he became Dr. Manhattan, and he killed everyone.
We actually missed some stuff on Prometheus.
And then he was Flash's dad.
So why did that one guy come back as like Yoga Zombie?
I could not tell you.
It's probably just because, like, the black goo stuff.
There has to be a reason for that because it's such a weird, awkward scene.
Especially because, so, you have the black goo that gets put into the drink of the husband, right?
Yes.
And it goes in his eye, and he's like, ah!
Yeah.
And then he turns white-ish. He gets really like, I'm
gets
sick
really
and dying, please
yeah,
melt me!
Yeah,
so they
like,
cook him alive.
Just melt me.
And then you have the snake that breaks that dude's arms and then suffocates him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you have the black goo that melts the mask onto the other guy's face.
That wasn't the black goo. He was trying to cut the
Oh, that's right. Sorry, the
the
acid got on
facehugger
him.
off. Yeah,
And
blood.
the acid melted the mask.
Yes.
But then didn't he fall into the goo or something?
I think he did fall into.
He did something, but then he came back as a yoga spider monkey.
Oh, was that him?
Yeah.
I thought it was the guy who got burned. That's why I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
No, because they burn the guy that comes back as the
they
zombie
burned
spider
Shaw,
monkey.
and then
Yeah.
they kill the spider monkey guy. Two different guys.
How the fuck am I supposed to know?
Well,
that the
'cause
guy who
one-
comes back as Yoga Zombie is the guy from the beginning of the movie.
No, Yoga Zombie guy is the guy who had tobacco in his suit. He's like, yeah, tobacco, man. Well, it's not tobacco, it's weed. He's like, I'm getting high. And he's the guy who's like, who I love rocks. He's like, I love rocks. I want to come here because I love rocks.
I didn't get that at all. I thought it was someone else.
No, yeah, that's the dude. That's the dude who cuts the thing,
I
gets
love
the acid in his
carpet.
mouth, and comes back as the Yoga Zombie.
Huh.
Because the husband does nothing other than be like, I'm tummy hurt, and then they cook him alive.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
good.
like, yeah.
I thought he
Anyway,
survived the cooking.
what I want to say is what
He
pisses
did
me off.
not!
What pisses me off
What
the
pisses
most
you
about. I'll tell you what pisses me off, motherfucker. What pisses me off the most about Prometheus and Alien Covenant is the fact that it's basically movies trying to explain the origin of the xenomorphs.
Yes.
And that
Which is
pisses
stupid.
me off
Which is
so much.
stupid.
Because the thing about the xenomorphs is that it's like mysterious. What Josh was saying earlier, the first movie is like the whole
The
mystery
mystery,
behind it.
yeah.
But now it's just ruining everything, saying this is where they came from.
Yeah.
And it's not
it doesn't
even-
really connect.
And it doesn't really
everything.
connect because if in Prometheus, they're trying to connect that the space jockey, right, the one at the end of the movie that killed everybody, is supposed to go into the pilot chair, and then the chest burster happens. But he gets out of the chair, goes back into the room, gets attacked by the giant octopus, gets
Yeah.
impregnated, and everyone's like, oh, now he's going to get up and go to the chair. Doesn't. Has the chest burster scene right there. So he's like, wait, so you're not the
Oh.
one in the chair? And then that alien does nothing because in the next movie, they're on a different fucking planet.
Yeah, it's just like hanging out.
And I'm
over
like,
there
wait, so what
somewhere.
happened to that first one? Are you still trying to imply that that one's the ship that they find in Alien
No,
1?
I don't think because that isn't the perfect xenomorph. Because
And it
that
isn't.
They called it
yeah.
something like the neomorph or something.
The
Neo.
Neo? He stopped bullets?
But it
Yeah.
also comes out way more advanced than the perfect necromorph.
Wow.
Xenomorph.
Jesus.
But to
Let's
one other
clark.
scene I want to touch on in that movie is
To
the
raise
pregnancy
rainbows,
scene or the
Yeah.
abortion scene. Because that scene, everyone was telling me like, oh, it's so disgusting, it's super disturbing. And I guess I'm like, what's the word? Desensitized nowadays.
Yeah.
Wasn't that bad to me, but
I still like the scene.
I think
I like the scene
women.
too.
I think it's a much more visceral response for like women. But
So, can I?
Women.
Maybe.
because
Not that we're any of
forbidden
those.
topic.
Maybe
I
I
have
might sound a
friends
little-
that were a lot more traumatized.
Maybe
by
I
it.
might sound crazy here, but I feel like Prometheus and Covenant were very, very focused on doing things to make women uncomfortable. Because in the first one, there's the abortion scene. There's the fact that she can't have a child. The main characters are women, and then in Covenant, you have the fact that the main character almost gets raped. Her husband's killed.
Oh, yeah.
Because David tries to rape her.
Does he?
Yes, he kisses her and goes, "Is this how it starts?" And he's like pinning her
that's
down.
weird. I
It
didn't-
is weird because he's trying to make perfect beings, and he's trying to impregnate his android seeds into beings.
Doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any
Don't
sense.
fucking forget what he goddamn did to Elizabeth Shaw.
Oh
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that's right. He,
She's all like fucking weird looking.
yeah, because he was like,
He very
he
well
was,
goddamn
he was like dissecting
Geigered.
her and doing weird shit to her, and like, and then I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of weird shit of like putting these women characters
That's pretty common.
I know it's comic,
Yeah.
but like, why specific? Is it because the first Alien franchise movies were women focused? And like, well, how do we have women in this? Oh, how do we make it women scary? Oh, she has to have an abortion scene.
I don't know.
Like,
the,
I don't
the
know.
abortion
Like-
scene is pretty. I think that was actually a pretty good scene.
Oh no, I liked it, but I
Although-
think it's weird that they're focusing so much on women having uncomfortability throughout a movie.
Yeah, I would argue. I don't know. I don't know as much about that. I
Yeah.
would say.
So I'm not a woman, so I'm not trying to speak for anyone that
Well, I would
identifies as
say
female, but
in-
I'm just saying I feel like it's a little weird that they do seem to focus on women's stuff. So that rape scene that came out of nowhere, and you really didn't do that, Ridley.
I missed that. Yeah,
Well,
I must. Have
You
been, like,
missed it as in you
talking
didn't
thing.
see it, or you missed it as in you missed seeing it and you want to see it again?
no, you didn't catch it.
I didn't catch it. That one, yeah, I missed those. I guess that they were more like, I don't know if that, because that one didn't have as much focus, whereas
Mhm.
the abortion scene is very visceral. But it was
I
also
still
like,
think it's a
it was
good
really clean, I suppose. Like, I don't know, I've seen a lot nastier stuff.
Yeah, it
the
could've
little
been.
squid thing. It was like,
Yeah,
squid out of
it's
here.
like the
It's-
little laser that made the perfect incision and pulled out the little thing.
Yeah.
It's really interesting then that, because again, like, they try to, first, I feel like they tried to build up that Prometheus was supposed to be the perfect prequel to Aliens.
Yeah.
And then they
It's all
fucked up.
people, yeah.
And then
This
they
make
made
another
Covenant.
perfect sequel.
And then they made Covenant, and everyone's like, this is going to be the setup to Alien. And it's not. And so then they're making Alien Romulus, and I'm like, are you still trying to build up
Yes.
to Alien?
I
Or,
think so.
well, stop.
Well,
Because
and you
you,
remember
You
had
can't
the big
tell-
colony
you can't tell
ship
when
at
to
the
stop.
end.
that's right, yeah.
So I
They'll
think
just keep
that's
going.
supposed to be an explanation of the
It's unstoppable.
eggs in
Okay.
Alien. But for Prometheus 2, one of the things I want to say is right after this.
It's called Alien Covenant, not Prometheus 2.
Did I say Prometheus 2?
Yes.
did.
That's hilarious.
Oh, I was being an asshole. I thought you meant like Prometheus also. You said
Yeah.
Prometheus 2, like T-O-O, and I was being a dick, because 2 sounds like 2.
I can't remember what I
It
said.
literally
But
happened.
that's,
Do you even know
that's
what
funny
movie
if
you're
I said
talking about?
Prometheus 2. I don't even know
I
where
like,
I am.
I like Prometheus 2. Prometheus.
And I
Too
think
many Prometheuses.
I don't know, but I think I was talking about Prometheus. So
Yeah.
I'm talking about Prometheus here. After the scene, the birth scene, she's like, like walking around this place, and then she goes, and the old guy's like alive, and she's like, "What's going on here?" She doesn't say anything.
About what the fuck she just ripped out
Yeah,
of
she's like,
herself.
"Holy shit! There's like a crazy squid alien."
And the
back
old guy's
there.
like,
He just ripped it
I've
out.
been alive this whole time!
Yeah, and she doesn't say anything, and they kept doing that in these movies where like crazy stuff will happen, and they just won't even.
You know what it
talk
kind of
about
feels like? It kind of feels like Until Dawn or like The Quarry or any one of those games
I
where
love The Quarry.
where it's like multiple choice, but some choices don't seem to continue because there's so many multiple choices they can't
Yeah.
have exact. So like all these characters do weird shit, and then the next person that they run into, it's like when you walk through a door and you forget everything. So the next time they see someone else's human face, they're like, "Oh, hello, new person. I will not tell you that I just ripped out something on my stomach." But then David's like, "Are you feeling okay? Do you have a tummy ache?" And I'm like, "Ha ha ha, it's tongue in cheek." But I was like, these characters are so like it's hard to root for people who make dumb decisions and then are lazy and stupid and then like don't really. I don't understand why they're in space. And someone has this whole conspiracy. There's conspiracy theories out there that the reason these sci-fi horror movies that take place in space while all the characters are dumb is because they're all the dumb people on the planet that people shipped out, and they want all the dumb people to go to space and get killed.
Kill them off.
And I was just like, wow, that's pretty
It
fucked
just
up.
sounds like an excuse.
Yeah.
I will say one thing I did not like about Covenant because I hate the doppelganger. I don't know who to shoot. Shit.
Oh yeah.
Because David kills Walter and becomes Walter, changes his hair, cuts off his arm, and then he's like, I'm now Walter. And I was like, you did that in like 3 minutes? And I just really hate shit like that where it's like, oh, it's two identical characters. Oh, obviously they switched. Oh, David's the bad one and David's the one who's continuing. And I'm just like, no fucking shit. And also, little nerd fact, Walter is the first android to break the naming scheme of the Alien movies.
In what way?
Oh yeah, because A, B, C.
A, B, C, D, W.
What?
Exactly. Why?
But also
Buffer.
to throw up on
To throw
on- to
Blake did
throw
that
on
earlier.
to the Covenant conversation. I felt like the camera and cinematography like made more sense for an Alien movie. It felt more like an Alien movie, which might have been on purpose since Prometheus, like when it was first being made, it felt very like not like an Alien movie. But the set design was also a lot more retro future
Mhm.
in Alien Covenant than it was in Prometheus. I liked a lot of the props in Prometheus, but the prop design seemed a little interesting. Whereas in Covenant, I felt like like the set design and the actual props felt a lot more in line with the Alien franchise. I also felt the characters and writing felt more like an Alien movie too. Like nobody
In which one?
in Covenant.
Covenant. Okay.
Because I felt like in Covenant they felt a little more like people, whereas in Prometheus, everyone felt like a freaking character. Like everyone had some wacky thing, and they all had like these huge personalities, and they didn't feel like normal people. They
Yeah.
felt like movie characters.
Because you literally have a guy screaming about how he likes rocks, he's out of here because he loves rocks, and he grabs the random nerd with him. And then you have the husband character who is like literally described as a adrenaline junkie scientist. That's why he takes off his helmet, why he just is crazy and he's like a psycho. He's all about love and life. And then you have the lazy captain who all he cares about is getting poontang. And then like
It's just odd.
and then you have Charlize Theron's character who acts like an android and acts like a robot to act mysterious and menacing, but she does nothing for that movie, really.
She was useless.
Yeah, because she's like, oh, I'll stand over here in the corner. I'll stand over here by the wall because I'm going to keep it up in the air about whether or not I'm an android or a human. And I'm like, what is
Wasn't
this?
she the one of the runners at the end?
She is. She's the one who runs like an idiot.
Well,
You're
she's
straight.
She's the daughter.
We got
She's
a
the
runner.
daughter.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I'm confused as to
Seriously,
what
when
this
there's
character
something rolling
does
at
for
you,
the
that's
story.
literally going straight.
Because
Go somewhere that's
I
not
don't know,
straight.
I feel like there was just so many implications because they all kind of felt like big characters, and I think maybe I'm overthinking this because I recently watched Alien, and one of my favorite things about Alien is the first time you watch it, you don't really. It's kind of hard to pinpoint who the main character is.
Yeah.
Right? Like when you watch
At
it
the beginning.
at
yeah.
the beginning, you kind of think like, oh, maybe Dallas is the main character, the captain. Because I think at that time, the actor who played Dallas, I think he was like a bigger actor. I feel like people were supposed to believe that he was going to be like the hero.
Ripley was a very small actor. at the
Believe it or
Yeah.
not, but Ripley was a.
Fuck you.
Like
But yeah, I feel
Ripley's
like,
believe it or not, you don't look like you're happy with what I said, John.
but yeah, I feel like they tried
Not
to make it
amused.
seem like at any
I'll be
point,
better next time.
one of these characters could be the main character. And then I feel like in Prometheus, I feel like maybe they try to do that because like, oh, all these characters are quirky. They have their own little things. Like,
Yeah, but
oh,
they also introduced the wife and the husband as like, we're doing this together with like the whole beginning scene.
Yeah.
So I didn't once believe that they were the main characters of that
oh,
story.
damn.
Yeah.
But they are. Well, she is.
Yeah. Oh, I think you misunderstood, or I think I might have said it weird. I knew that she was the main character.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you said you never thought they were going to be the main character.
There's no way. I still didn't believe.
Yeah.
At the end of the movie, I was still.
You're like, she's about to die, right? And then
Yeah.
she didn't. You're like, what?
So who's the main character of this?
Yeah. You're like, man, where the fuck did the captain go? I hope he lived. Do you think he died? I think he made it.
What?
You
I'm
think
making a
so?
joke because he literally fucking drove his spaceship into another
No,
spaceship.
if you
You're
look,
funny.
if you stop it, he jumps right. So he
No,
goes
it's like
out
that-
the windshield.
It's like that scene in Jason X when Jason's floating towards him and then the sergeant flies at him and tackles him into the earth. But, yeah, remember
And
that?
then they're the meteor.
And then the meteor, they
That's my
crash-
favorite
They crash
part.
into Chris Campbell's like, my favorite part about him is he's against that wall and Jason stabs him through the wall and he goes, you think a little poke in the ribs is gonna stop me? And then Jason stabs him like in the chest. He goes, wait, that might do it. And he just slumps over. But then later he's back in his spacesuit and he goes, Yarr!
It's
and
like
tackles
the
him.
campiest movie.
And they're like, was that the sergeant? He's like, ah! It's like fucking Kratos.
The fact that they turn into the meteor
And they turn into a
is the
meteor.
biggest thing I've ever seen. But
Um,
to kind of finish, I guess, my review of them, because that sounded a lot harsher, I did actually think they were both interesting sci-fi concepts. I would have liked if there wasn't any connection to Alien, because so many movies
Right.
nowadays, I mean, I think that this movie was thought of in part with Alien. Like, they were thinking of Alien, they're like, oh, this would be an interesting concept.
Mm.
But I think more the concept was interesting rather than it being connected to Alien. Because if they had taken out all of the Alien things, but they, you can still do Aliens. But if they took out the connection to the franchise Alien, then they wouldn't have had to do all these loose ends that made
Yes.
the story not make any sense. And they would have had more
Just
freedom.
focus on a horror sci-fi movie at
Yeah, or
that
just
point.
focus on your own thing.
Yeah.
And then you can kind of, you don't have to worry about the loose ends. You don't have to worry about the stupid-ass android's head coming off exactly like the other android's head.
But that's good, because then he bashed the other guy with it.
Yeah, it cracked me up. I was like, I'm really glad that, like, conically, that's, like, their weak point. But, I did think that the movies
robots.
Yeah. I did think that the movies were interesting. The prop design on both movies was very different. I think Alien Covenants was better, and the CG was pretty good in Covenant. I liked it.
You know what I would have liked, and they do this in because Aliens and Predator are in the same universe, and they kind of do that thing where they kind of tiptoe in Alien and Predator because they have the Weyland-Yutani company.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like if Prometheus focused on, like, maybe they go here to this alien thing, maybe they do all this stuff, and maybe all this stuff happens, and it does lead to the origin of Alien. But then the next movie is about a different alien species, or it's about, or you just make it about the world and introduce other alien species. But you did show, like, oh hey shit, like this is actually kind of like a prequel to this alien movie, and you just have like a little thing, but the whole movie's focused on it. Then you have Covenant that's also focused on it, and then you have this new movie coming out, and I'm like, fuck, this makes me think a lot of Scorpion King, where
My dad loved Scorpion.
They made The Mummy 2. Then they made the prequel Scorpion King. Then they made a prequel to Scorpion King.
Yeah.
Then they made a sequel to this Scorpion King. And then they made a sequel to that one. But they're all prequels to The Mummy 2.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's not what they're doing here. And it's kind of like what they did with X-Men. They made X-Men First Class, Days of Future Past, Apocalypse, and then Dark Phoenix, which were all
Bad movies.
Wow. But they're all,
Maybe just the last two.
Throwing shade.
wow. But I feel like it's so weird to focus solely. It's kind of like a Hobbit movies too. Like, why focus so heavily on prequels?
Yeah.
Just do like a one movie prequel and the next one. Because again, I think like a bunch of movies and like anthologically of just like sci-fi horror, because I love sci-fi horror, but I don't want all my sci-fi horror to be connected to aliens. Yeah, like because for instance, this is a super side note. I was talking to my partner about this. There's that new movie coming out, Rebel Moon by Zack Snyder, which was originally supposed to be a Star Wars movie, but then Disney bought Star Wars, so then Zack Snyder shelved the project for a while. So then he rewrote it and reworked on it to make Rebel Moon an original piece. And you can watch it and be like, there's some Star Wars in here. But it's nice to finally see a sci-fi fantasy movie that's not Star Wars, not Star Trek. So it'd be cool to see a new sci-fi horror movie.
just not attached to any major franchise.
That's not attached to anything.
Yeah.
That's not...
Because, when he was originally making it a Star Wars movie, it was called A Rebel That's No Moon.
Probably.
so stupid.
Yeah, one of my biggest fears is, like, I'm, like, 70.
It's not very funny.
That's your biggest fear?
Yeah. No, my biggest fear is I'm 70 and I'm still watching Star Wars.
Exactly!
Like, all of the franchises.
Oh, I see what you mean. You're on, like, episode 25 or something.
Yeah, I want, like, to live in my own era and to have my own
own chunk.
Well,
Right
I'm
now,
sorry,
we're just
Josh. You
watching,
can't
like,
get
everyone
everything you
else's.
want.
Yeah.
Well,
You have to bow down to corporate.
This is like
Yeah.
a complete side note, but I talk to my partner about this all the time.
You talk?
Yes, all the time, obviously. Where I'm with like superheroes in general, because like Bruce Wayne is Batman, Clark Kent is Superman, Arthur Curry's Aquaman, Diana Prince is Wonder Woman. They have been these characters since when they were first written in the 1960s, right? But at some point, Dick Grayson was Batman, Wally West, Bart Allen. And all
They had
those
successors,
people. They had
basically,
successors, but they always go back to the original.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that me in 2023 is still reading Bruce Wayne Batman. All the movies that come out, Bruce Wayne Batman.
Yeah.
Just like back in the 60s, the comics are coming out Bruce Wayne Batman. At some point, it's like, yo, the character needs to age. Because they do the same shit with Green Lantern. Green Lantern is Hal Jordan, Guy Gardner, Jon Stewart, Kyle Rayner, Simon Baz, Jennifer Cruz, and Alan Scott. There are 7 fucking Green Lanterns, but they keep making Hal Jordan. I'm like, yo, move on. I'm just with you, Josh. Like, I want to be like in my own era of characters. And I'm like, man, back when I was a kid, my Batman, was Dick Grayson. I grew up with Dick Grayson's Batman. Or like back in my era, the top, horror movies to me were like, Splatterhead and Creature and like there's all these other movies and stuff like, oh yeah, I'm 60 years old and Aliens 27's coming out tomorrow. Guess I should go see Alien 27, and it's like a super AI, super old version of like Michael Fassbender and be like, I'm still David, you sons of bitches!
Yeah. I'm back, motherfucker.
I'm back on Animals on Assassin's Creed!
But you know, I bet you're happy that in Superman Legacy, Nathan Fillion is playing Guy Gardner and not Hal Jordan.
Yeah, because isn't that cool?
Well, you were just saying they're all Hal fucking Jordan. We all love the Ryan Reynolds.
No, so here's the thing about
I
that.
don't really like Ryan Reynolds.
The thing that breaks my heart
You don't
about
like
that
yourself?
is
That's true too.
is
Self-deprecating.
Nathan
Oh, shit.
Fillion. Nathan Fillion has been the voice for Hal Jordan since basically forever. He's constantly been Hal Jordan in almost all media. Any animated movie, any video game, it's always normally Nathan Fillion. Nathan Fillion has also expressed a lot of interest in being, and everybody wants him to be Green Lantern. And he's showing up as an older Green Lantern, and for some reason he's Guy Gardner. And everyone's like, why the fuck isn't he Ryan... Oh, sorry, why isn't he Ryan Reynolds? Why the fuck isn't he Hal Jordan? And the reason why is because they're still trying to make the Green Lantern show, which is going to focus on Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, and they're supposed to be like in their 20s and their 30s. Unfortunately, Nathan Fillion is outside of that.
He's like 100.
Yeah, he is. But for some reason, they're going to make him Guy Gardner, and it's like, that's cool to finally see Nathan Fillion as a real Green Lantern, but he's also not the Green Lantern he should be. So it's a little frustrating that.
But you were just saying that you don't like when they do all the same characters.
No, I agree.
You're saying you
You're
want
trying to
him
set
to
him up.
be?
No, I don't
want him to be Hal Jordan now?
No, I want
What do you want? You want Hal Jordan? You do not want Hal fucking Jordan.
I want
man.
Jon Stewart.
What do you want?
I want DC movies to stop doing the same characters over and over and over again.
Well, guess fucking what, motherfucker?
I know.
Superman Legacy,
The most
directed by James Gunn, our Lord and Savior.
the most important thing about Superman Legacy has nothing to do with Superman. It's all about
Alien.
Or
Thank God.
wait, but he is an alien.
No, I mean Alien's the franchise.
Oh yeah.
And that's when Superman got the
Nothing to do with the
alien egg.
xenomorph.
Yeah,
the xenomorph egg.
I want a little
Perfect
Superman.
xenomorph.
I want a little Superman to burst out of his chest. It's like, and it's going.
Could you imagine that crossover?
I just dude, this connects both Alien and comic books because there's Alien comic books.
They're awful.
And no, there's this one that has like a fucking
you.
android xenomorph and it like talks and
What?
shit. Yeah.
What about
nuts.
the comic book where it's like Alien versus Batman versus Predator?
What?
That was a YouTube video.
No, but I think there's also comic books
No.
of it.
Someone do
I
that
don't know.
in their backyard?
No, absolutely not.
So just to wrap up this
Yeah.
episode that kind of came out of nowhere. Are you guys excited for the new Alien movie, Alien Romulus?
No,
I honestly had no
We
idea.
watched-
I had no idea. I gotta catch up again. I just gotta catch up on all
there's
the
no
alien
way.
stuff.
There is so little chance that it'll be good.
Really?
But
damn.
hopefully it will.
Well,
I'm hoping at least it's.
harsh words from Josh as usual.
Yeah, well, we
Well,
all
I just
know.
said I liked both of those movies.
Anyway.
But it's a different director now.
Yeah,
and he
the
fucking
wrong
sucks.
one.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like you're trying to say that you're hoping good, but because you like the other two movies, but it's a new director and this.
Well, he
director's
also
kinda
made Don't Breathe and Don't Breathe 2.
Wow.
sucked. We haven't seen
Two
Don't
great
Breathe
movies.
2.
I did
I like
enjoy
Don't
Don't Breathe 1, especially the dog.
Yeah, I had a heart
I
attack
almost
too.
had a fucking heart attack.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right, should we wrap up from there?
Alien Covenant.
It was pretty okay.
Prometheus and Alien
Talks about a
Covenant.
lot of aliens. Superman.
Is it weird
Green
that-
Lantern.
That they called Prometheus, and then the next one Alien Covenant.
What did you want them to call it? Alien?
I don't know. I just thought it was weird that they just called it Prometheus and then they went back to just saying Alien.
Well, I think they
It's
wanted
true.
Prometheus because they never said Prometheus was an alien movie.
That's right,
I
but
But it
I-
was.
they connected to it. They
I
did
think
it.
they wanted that to be the thing.
I thought you were gonna say they never said Prometheus was an alien. He wasn't. He wasn't.
Jesus.
Well, Jesus was an alien.
It's, of course, he was jacked.
He was jacked. The only way he can be jacked is by being an alien.
In Final Judgment, the painting on the Sistine Chapel, he does kind of
pumps
have the body
iron.
of an engineer.
Oh, okay.
So
Are
there's
you
something
talking
there.
about like the real life painting?
Yeah,
What the
By
fuck are you
Michelangelo.
talking about?
it was foretold, is what I'm saying.
Are you telling me
Do you think
that
Look
that
up
alien
Final
is
Judgment,
real?
Jesus.
Do you think Ridley
Final
Scott
Judgment Jesus.
saw that? He's like, that's what I want the engineers to look like. I want them all to be Jesus.
I want their
He
wieners
planned
to be
it all
covered by
along.
these little things, like the little drapes. I'm talking about. Then the Sistine
Yeah,
Chapel.
no, I know. Yeah, the little loincloth
Yeah, because
drapes.
Michelangelo would like put dicks everywhere.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
when
yeah.
the church came in, they're
That's
like,
it,
why are
dude.
there dicks everywhere? Yeah.
Yeah,
Seriously.
his
body.
Yeah, that's an engineer.
He's pretty shredded.
Well, I don't know about being an engineer.
No, that's an engineer. Look,
I've
the
seen
loincloth is
something
great.
that looks
Originally,
like
that was
him.
his skin tone. Look, you don't see his little wiener.
Why are you zooming up on Jesus' wiener?
That's what we all want to see.
Packing.
Well, guys, we should wrap it up. It's been 50 minutes, and we really ramble
Wait,
about...
hold on, I just remembered. I hate this. And
He kind
at
of has the same
beginning,
nose too. Like I
of
can see, I
Alien
can see it
Covenant,
as like the engineer.
when
yeah,
freaking
they modeled
David
after
shows
it.
up at the engineer homeworld, and they're all like, "Ah,
Yeah, yeah.
And then suddenly it opens up, and he releases the black dust upon them, and they're all like, "It's dead."
It's part
He
of
just
the biblical
freaking kills all of
plagues.
them.
Yeah.
Biblical plague. They just all out there. Well, first of all, they're engineers, right? They're supposed to be like smart and stuff. Right?
That's why they called engineers.
Yeah, but instead they're like, yeah, you're here not to kill us. We know who's on that ship. You think they'd be in contact
and then
with
they saw
the
the
ship.
bombs coming out, they're like, oh shit, who's that? And they all
It opens up and they see some fucking David character up there staring down at them, just like,
David, like,
just up there, just staring
or
down.
Hey,
you
I'm
where it's
David.
at your feet, and he's like, looking
Yeah,
down,
and they're like, there's something up with this. And then the dust comes down, they're like, are we gonna die?
human.
like, who's that thing up there?
They're
Is
like,
that Jesus?
oh!
Yeah, his squints harder, and it's just freaking not.
It's like that one scene. I don't know if you've watched like the Italian Spider-Man YouTube videos, but there's the one scene. No, there's like a GIF of this guy with long hair. He looks just like Josh, but you know exactly what I'm talking about because it's the scene where he's pointing and going like this.
Oh no, actually, I don't know.
You haven't seen that?
Nobody can see what you're
Yeah.
No, I want you people to see it.
Whoa!
And by you
Whoa.
people, he's referring to us three, not you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, the audience.
No, I want you people listening to know what I was doing.
I guess the audience should look up Italian Spider-Man
You-
on YouTube.
Show you little fucking idiots.
Okay,
Jesus
hold on,
Christ.
we should
Everybody
stop.
has seen this.
Hold it to
Everybody has seen
the
this.
Wait, isn't that like...
No, you don't need to stop for me looking
Oh,
like
yeah, it's
something.
like,
Do you
Right,
want
we
to
just get, like,
wrap this
stripes.
up?
Yeah, thanks guys for watching another episode. Listening to another episode of Underground Mole Radio. This episode is a random episode that came out of nowhere. Oh shit!
About
We
Prometheus.
never-
We didn't close out
we didn't close
Hellraiser.
out the other episode.
It's fine.
Whatever. Who cares? We're just.
You know what's up.
We're
There's
just.
another one and close it.
Shut up. What? Do you ever want to have an idea again?
We did a pause before the previous one.
Oh, we
so,
did.
Yeah, we could.
You
Easily
could
record.
make like a quick minute closeout for that.
Okay,
if
hold
you
on.
wanted.
We'll wrap this
Alright,
up.
alright,
Okay,
alright.
so thank you for listening to the Underground Mole Radio. Like I said,
You know
I
this.
do know this scene. Patrick showing.
I
us
don't.
on
I've
phone.
never seen that.
I've
Okay,
been.
I've seen
I've
it.
No,
been.
I don't know.
One of your
Well,
hosts.
that's what they do when they see David up there. They're like, and
with
then
the
he just kills them all.
with the element of Earth, and sitting next to me is Patrick.
I'm the element of heart.
Fuck you.
What?
Ryan.
I'm Ryan.
No, why did okay, Ryan.
Element of
Danger.
fire, I guess.
All right.
No.
You got two to pick.
No.
Josh is the element of surprise.
I'm like a fast bender. I'm full of milk.
You hear it here, folks.
He's the element of milk.
You can milk John. Oh my god.
It's like in Meet the Parents. I've got nipples. Can you
You
milk
milk
me?
me? Did you stop it?
I will now.
Please.